We have a really good agenda today, and I'll go over it quickly, and then I'll introduce our honored guest. The three primary items are college application process for seniors, followed by the college search process for juniors that will begin later this month, and lastly but not leastly, the course selection process and scheduling for 2019-2020. Yes, we begin already. Actually, the other day, Laura Duback, Kristen Sautner, and I started the scheduling for next year. We're kind of in the back of the room yet. We don't need to work with the students and their parents yet, but a little later, I'll be introducing you to a very important topic. We begin now, and it culminates in August, of course, when your children receive the schedules. But let me introduce my dear friend and colleague. He was also the guidance counselor for my own children many years ago at Iona Prep. So it's interesting how the world works. I knew him when he was a student way back. He helped my children on the journey, and now he helps your children on the journey. So that's a nice synergy that exists. Greg Quarella, it's his second year with us, and Greg's going to handle the first two topics, the college search process for the seniors and, of course, for the juniors. So, Greg, you're up, and take us where we need to be. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. So when I speak to student groups and parent groups, I like to start with a little bit of a reminder that school counselors in the year 2018, we wear three hats. We're academic counselors, we're personal social counselors, and we're college and career counselors. So today I'm really here to talk about that third hat, college counseling, and how do we deliver comprehensive and effective and supportive college counseling services primarily to the juniors and seniors. Now, we don't have the time today for me to tell you about the whole college counseling movie. That's a long movie. So today is just some snapshots, just a few scenes from the movie, and I hope you find it helpful. So let's start with some data. The first 2 months of the year in the counseling office are very busy. We have processed almost 2,000 applications as of Monday morning. 93% of our seniors have already applied to college. 95 of our seniors, out of roughly 208, I think we have 208 seniors, 95 of those seniors are using early decision. That's a trend that is much different today than it was a couple decades ago. And you can apply to only one school early decision, but you can apply to as many as you like early action. You can see that number is significantly more. We've processed 751 early action applications. Students do still apply regular decision, a regular deadline. We've processed over 1,000 of those, and some students use some colleges use something called a rolling deadline. They don't want to get into the regular deadline and the early deadline. They just have a rolling admissions deadline. A couple of important dates and some other things to examine. I mentioned rolling admissions. Some of our seniors, hooray, have already been accepted. Indiana University comes to mind. They're on a rolling admissions schedule. The students who applied ED, I mentioned we have 95 of those students. They're waiting to hear back, and they will hear from colleges in the middle of December, so roughly December 15th. And that's the same for the early action students as well. A little more leverage for the student on the early action side, because those students have until May 1st to make their decision and to deposit at the college of their choice. For our students who are applying regular decision, they know their deadline is typically January 1, January 15, February 1 in some cases, and they're going to start to hear back from the schools in March or as late as April 1st. Let's turn the page, talk about where we are with the juniors. In about 3 weeks, we're going to hold the Junior Family College Planning Night. That's an event for junior parents. We're also going to have our revised college planning guide ready. That'll be posted on the website, on the counseling website, on the 27th. So there's a synergy there between those two events. That's about an hour-long presentation. Dr. McGrath is sort of the keynote speaker. He speaks for about 15 minutes on an overview of college counseling. And then the parents will break out into various sessions with myself or Gary McCarthy, Christina Wilson, or Erin Brown, whatever counselor is assigned to your son or daughter. In the month of December, we meet individually with the juniors for a college counseling meeting. My email inbox is starting to fill up as the juniors are emailing me asking for appointments. That's wonderful. And that is really the first step in the journey. And we spend about a half hour or so with the juniors talking about their plans for college. Some of them can tell you already where they want to apply and how they're going to apply and what they serve in the dining hall. And other students have absolutely no idea, and that's fine too. We're going to meet them where they are. Wherever they are, we'll meet them where they are, and we'll walk with them and support them through that process. After that, as the calendar turns to 2019, we have family planning meetings. So in that meeting is the student, the counselor, and a parent or two. And that's the next step on the journey. There's a lot of nuts and bolts in that meeting. We'll talk about what the next 12, 14, 16 months are going to look like. And the theme of that meeting is not, we don't want the parent to walk out of that meeting feeling stressed and overwhelmed. Oh my God, there's so many pieces of data here, and this is going to be so difficult. In fact, just the opposite. We want the theme to be one of support. This is manageable. Every step along the way, we're going to have checklists, and any question you need, you can always pick up the phone and call us. So, a little bit of recommended reading, if you will. Some recent research out of Stanford University suggests that for high-achieving high school students, the two main stressors in their lives are number one, workload, and number two, college. So with that on our mind, we're thinking about how can we help our students and support our students in the college process. You may have heard Byron Hills High School is one of roughly 150 schools around the country that are partnering with Stanford University and their Challenge Success program. And Challenge Success last month put out a white paper, a fit over rankings. Suggest you read it. It's, I think, 15 to 20 pages or so. You can just read the executive summary if that suits your needs. But it does create a nice framework for us to think about college admissions, the pressure of college admissions, and what that process is going to look like and feel like. So that's a little bit of a snapshot. Some scenes from the college counseling movie.
We're going to move, and Greg's going to stay with me because he works in this area too. So we're going now, we're still under number 2, course selection process and scheduling for next year. And let me emphasize the two notes first, A and B. In December, I will write to all of you, that is the parents of students in current grades 9, 10, and 11. And I will tell you, and I'll give you the link, where you will find the course selection booklet, the curriculum planning chart, and fact sheets 1 and 2. I will encourage you to read those documents. I will encourage your children, whether they're freshmen, sophomores, or juniors, to read those documents. Secondly, it'll be in that email in December. I'll talk with more specificity about the assemblies on January 2nd. Freshmen in period 1, sophomores in period 2, juniors in period 3. The featured speaker is Chris Walsh, our principal. Then we bring in guest speakers. Tom Andriello will talk to the current juniors about the Senior Mentor Program and all of its benefits. Doug Carpenter will talk about the Peer Leader Program and its benefits. Courtney DeRosa will talk about the Big Brother, Big Sister program and its benefits. For freshmen, Stephanie Greenwald, who's doing a great job with our science research program, will talk to the freshmen about our science research program. So those are a few of the guest speakers that'll come after Chris. Then we break them down, we call them breakout groups. So for instance, Kira Hunt and I will break out the freshmen that I work with and she works with, and I'll start to talk about AP World History, which is a second-year opportunity for freshmen. I'll talk about the Global Scholars Program. In fact, Melissa Stahl, Jennifer Layden, and Dwayne Smith will be keynote speakers introducing freshmen to the Global Scholars Program. Another important point, applications are required for senior mentor, peer leader, big brother, big sister, and science research. We'll put that all in writing to you. We'll let you know when applications are needed. If we don't mention an application, you can safely assume no application is needed. There's also applications for certain AP courses. Again, all in writing to you and your children. So that's kind of what we'll be doing with the assembly and prior. So the first phase, and this will be between January 2nd and January 10th. Your children have to decide on the following: AP courses or not, Global Scholars or not, if they're freshmen, science research or not, and perspectives in literature or not. That's a two-credit course for seniors, double period, taught by Catherine Eshu. The next phase begins the Monday after the week of recess in February. For 1 week, Greg is going to start to tell you this part now. When we push in with Chromebooks and we go for electives, why don't you take that phase?
Sure.
Phase 2.
Sure, so when we push in with the Chromebooks, every student gets a Chromebook, and then they take their fact sheet that has the number of the course the number of all the courses. It could be a sophomore push-in or a junior push-in. And then they add in their elective courses with their Chromebook. And at that point, we have a schematic, if you will, or we have a pre-plan, or a plan, if you will, of the courses the student will take next year.
Good. I neglected to mention fact sheet 1, as you read on the agenda, list all the AP courses, Global Scholars, Perspectives in Literature, Science Research. Fact sheet 2, list all the electives. If you're wondering what's fact sheet 1 and fact sheet 2, I didn't differentiate that. I'll use St. Patrick's Day, or the middle of March. Everything will be in that your children would like to take. I will write to you about April 1st. Again, parents of children, and then I'll include grade 8. Any of you have children in grade 8? All right. You'll be getting this email. Parents of children in grade 8, 9, 10, and 11. Please go into the parent portal and look at the course request and recommendations for next year. If you approve it, no action's necessary. If you have questions, you will contact someone, and I tell you who to contact, including me. And then we work our way through that. Within 2 weeks, everything is solid, and then we start running schedules offline. And we try to make all the requests and recommendations match, so obviously your children can go to school. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming. We'll see you in January. Happy holidays to you. And if you'd like to come back and chat with Greg and I and learn a little bit about Naviance, you're welcome. Thank you. Thanks, guys.